Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and we still have stuff to talk about when it comes to the most recent Pokemon Sword and Shield news, but this answers one of the biggest questions about the new Pokemon games. So if you end up enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like, share the news, share the hype with your friends, and let's get into it. Catch Pokemon with hidden abilities through max raid battles. I'm pretty sure everyone could have guessed this, but having the confirmation is nice, even though, yeah, this is something special. This is a new encountering mechanic. Generally, in other Pokemon games, new encountering mechanics mean hidden abilities. We saw this with the Dex Nav. That Dex Nav is how you get hidden abilities, as well as Pokemon SOS. Now, this seems kind of closer to SOS, or at least, you know, the way that the Pokemon encounter changes quite a bit, and then you get a lot of benefits from that, but it's still nice to have the confirmation, like I said. But also, we have more information on top of that, and everything just kind of keeps piling together in a really interesting way. So this is news we already knew, but I kind of wanted to add it in there. Defeat a Dynamax Pokemon for a chance to catch it. If you manage to defeat a Dynamax Pokemon in a max raid battle, you'll get a chance to catch it for your team. Each participant in the battle will be able to throw one Pokeball in an attempt to catch the Dynamax Pokemon. Victories in max raid battles can reward you with many useful items too. That's actually one of my favorite things, because from the E3 gameplay, we didn't get to see the exact rewards. At the screen cut away, they changed the conversation, so I'm wondering what those items are going to be, and if it's going to help you out competitively as well. So really, participating in max raid battles, that's kind of going to be like your SOS, where you're getting high IV Pokemon as well. You're also getting many useful things that's going to make it easier to get competitive. That also reminds me of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee with the catch combos. But we still have some extra stuff to talk about. Some Pokemon have rare abilities known as hidden abilities. Well, almost all Pokemon, but okay. Which are different to their usual abilities. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, it seems that Pokemon caught in max raid battles might have these hidden abilities. Plus, there's also a chance you'll encounter a special Pokemon capable of Gigantamaxing in max raid battles, and that's the already confirmed information that we had about Gigantamax. You can catch Gigantamax Pokemon for your team by participating in max raid battles, but it seems they're very rare, so finding one won't be easy. Now I'm wondering, like, how rare are they? Because if we actually look at, you know, the gameplay we've seen, there's a lot of max raids you can take part in every day. I'm wondering, like, how fast these Pokemon dens actually respawn. So now we're just kind of like going back into all the information we have to kind of keep filling in all the blanks. So Dynamax Pokemon are hiding in dens that are releasing a red pillar of light. And there's dens all over the place. Sometimes a Pokemon isn't home, sometimes a Pokemon is home. Again, that E3 gameplay showed us a lot of crazy stuff. You'll be able to choose one Pokemon from your party or from your Pokemon boxes to participate in the battle. And then just about the dens, you know, you'll be able to attempt a max raid battle by investigating these dens. Whenever you see a red pillar of light, just walk up to the Pokemon den, interact with it to start the encounter. Now, I feel like grinding these and like almost speedrunning them is going to be a very key part of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm wondering what happens if you get like a shiny Pokemon from a max raid battle, or what these Pokemon actually benefit. So we can get hidden abilities, and then that makes me wonder how many Pokemon are going to be in max raid battles, because it says that some Pokemon are going to be exclusive to max raid battles, but there's also going to be like regular Pokemon as well. So does that mean every Pokemon in the wild area has a chance to be in a max raid battle? Some of those Pokemon are even going to Gigantamax on a very rare occasion, and then some of those Pokemon can't even be found in the wild and can only be found with their hidden ability on rare occasions through the max raid battle. So I feel like that these are going to have to spawn frequently. I thought it was maybe like a one a day kind of thing, that you can like do 30 max raid battles and you have to wait 24 hours and then all these red pillars come back. But I don't know what happens. I honestly don't know how this is going to break down. But then they give us that extra confirmation. It's like, really, game? That's crazy. While extremely rare, by attempting many different battles, there's a chance you can even encounter a Pokemon that can Gigantamax and also has its hidden ability. And that's where everyone's looking at Corviknight. Corviknight caught in tall grass with pressure ability. Corviknight caught in a max raid battle with the mirror armor ability. Oh boy. Also, side note about the IVs, I'm wondering if this is actually a max IV Corviknight, maybe? I don't know, but we have like the level 50, 166 pressure, and then the only other thing that changes besides the ability, which shows that this Pokemon is from max raid battle, is going to be that hit point stat. So 171 at level 50, that's also a really good showing as well, because that suggests like a 96 base hit points on the Corviknight, and that's at max IVs. So tanky boy, I like it. And then we have to kind of keep going down. So 166, 22 IVs, that seems more possible for a natural wild caught Pokemon or Corviknight like that. So yeah, it seems like there's a difference. If not, Corviknight has an even higher base hit points, and none of those hit the max IV mark. But I don't think that that's how it's going to work when it comes to the max raid battles. I feel like that's where you're going to get massive amounts of benefit that make you competitive ready in a really short amount of time. So you do that, you breed them off, and then boom, free IVs, free hidden ability, GG, just like that. Participate in lots of max raid battles if you want to catch a Pokemon with a hidden ability. Now, this also goes into like the Gigantamaxing stuff, because Gigantamax Hydreigon, Gigantamax Tyranitar, are these going to be possible? Because there's a lot of Pokemon that we've seen, and we got some shenanigans going down for sure. And then that brings us to Corviknight's Mirror Armor hidden ability, which is super good. It's not Magic Bounce good, but it's close enough. Actually, technically better in some situations. Like, you can't Magic Bounce the Intimidate because it's not a move, right? Yeah, Magic Bounce is just moves. So that's actually kind of a trickily smart thing from the Pokemon Company to do it like this. Because, like, oh, you're actually reflecting the attack on the Intimidate. And also maybe because VGC Intimidate is just an absolute terror. So I'm wondering if this is Game Freak's approach. Instead of nerfing Intimidate, they're giving you more opportunities to counter it or play around it, such as Corviknight's hidden ability as well as Weezing's hidden ability. But I don't want to always have to run those Pokemon just because everyone is always running Intimidate and they have to play more special or something weird like that. But yeah, this ability will bounce back any stat lowering effects from abilities or moves. So it's kind of like, you know, you don't get to bounce back like a taunt, or you don't get to bounce back stealth rocks or entry hazards, but being able to do that for status is still really strong. And then that's where like the ultimate play comes in. A Mirror Armor Gigantamax Corviknight, because Gigantamax Corviknight's G move pretty much resets everything in the game. So let's go and find this bad boy. Let's see, I can do this. So we go here, scroll down. Yeah, like, you can't easily just get to the all Pokemon page, but the Gigantamax Corviknight Max Wind Rage. Flying type moves used by Gigantamax Corviknight will turn into G-Max Wind Rage. G-Max Wind Rage deals damage to opponent. That's not all. Removes any effects of moves like Light Screen, Reflect, Spikes, Terrain that the opponents may have. So you get rid of entry hazards. You get rid of terrain. You get rid of all their like screens and stuff like that. It resets all of their field conditions. So you do that while not being able to get status, which means the only way you can deal with this Pokemon is throwing down a Toxic. Oh wait, you can't. It's a Steel type. Now I'm guessing that Corviknight isn't going to be one of the fastest Pokemon, so burn Corviknight or die, I think, is effectively what the game is trying to tell us at this point, but it's going to be very rare. Now we don't know how rare. Like, I don't, you know, no, it says very rare. I thought they said extremely rare. Maybe extremely rare for getting like everything to line up, right? Yeah. All right, there's a chance you could even though it's extremely rare. So it's very rare to get a Gigantamax Pokemon, but it's extremely rare to get both. I mean, what's the hidden ability odds going to be, like 1 in 10? 1 in 5? You know, there's a chance for that, and then very rare to get that. So what's that going to be? 1 in 50? 1 in 100? There's so much interesting discussion that goes on about getting Gigantamax Pokemon as well. Because Gigantamax Pokemon, while strong, they aren't like completely foolproof. Because you're not going to be able to have egg moves, since these Pokemon can only be obtained by doing the max raid battles. So they're going to have some drawbacks compared to like really strong and OP egg moves. Also, with the hidden ability, you can just kind of breed a hidden ability in. So I just kind of keep scaling all of these really weird things that are happening with this announcement. And then you can go on the Pokemon Twitter. They just kind of effectively say the same thing. You know, there's a chance you can get Pokemon that can get Gigantamax in max raid battles. So that means it's extremely rare that you can get hidden ability as well. So this is going to be really interesting. Like, you do the max raid battles, you get hidden ability, you breed it off, you get 1,000,000 of those guys. But if you want the Gigantamax or whatever other perks can come from max raid battles, then you have to do it that way. This I'm down with. It rewards grinding. It rewards proper play inside of the games. However, if hacking becomes available, this is terrible. People already cry enough that breeding, while being easier than ever, you know, try breeding back in Generation 5. Try breeding back in Generation 4. That was a nightmare, but people, they get it easier, and their entitlement still has them crying at the end of the day about this, and they find that justification to cheat against other people in this children's game. I don't get it. But this could actually be something else. That people, that this takes long enough, or yeah, that this takes too long, which anything that takes more than 3 minutes to get a perfect Pokemon is now considered too long in the toxic Pokemon community. So this just proves advantage. This just proves that cheating and hacking creates a massive advantage inside of Pokemon, even though the idiots out there saying, oh, it doesn't give an advantage. Yeah, just like how before, you know, Generation 7, like in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, when you had to reset the 1 in tens of millions odds to get a perfect Kyogre. Maybe not tens of millions. It takes like a million minutes or something to get a perfect Kyogre, if not longer, because you have to get like those resets and stuff. And then people have like 0 attack while having 531 IVs for the rest of it, and then it happens to be shiny as well or something ridiculous like that. Like the Pokemon that we see in VGC are impossible to get through just through the sake of timing and any reasonable expectation. So if this is even like maybe I don't even know. I was about to say an hour, but I feel like extremely rare. An hour isn't long enough. It's also like if you get the right Pokemon, because you have to check the den, and if the den doesn't have Corviknight, well then you know it can't be a Gigantamax Corviknight or any Gigantamax Pokemon. Clefable, I'm guessing it's not going Gigantamax. So you see Clefable, well it could have its hidden ability, but it's not going Gigantamax. So then you have to see Corviknight for the Gigantamax, you have to see all these other things, then you catch it, and then you realize you didn't get that roll for the hidden ability. So yeah, it could take days to get a Gigantamax hidden ability Pokemon or something like that. But when you get it, it's going to be objectively more powerful. That is where the advantage comes into play than the other Pokemon that people are going to have. And then if Hyper Training's still in the game, I kind of don't like Hyper Training. Like, it'd be really interesting if you're stuck with a Gigantamax Pokemon, but it has less IVs because of it. And maybe it's only like 3 guaranteed IVs or 4 guaranteed IVs, and you get bad rolls on extremely rare Pokemon. I'd be down with that, because you shouldn't have perfect Pokemon just handed to you for free. I think breeding is fine. They make it slightly easier. That is the only thing I will tolerate. I will not tolerate free-low breeding in my Pokemon games, because you have to earn your things. I'm liking that Game Freak still tries to keep people honest like that. But if hacking becomes available, then this becomes the worst thing ever, because it just gives you a more massive advantage. Every battle is going to be like GS Cup rules, with the opponent having a perfect shiny legendary Pokemon that would be impossible to get. So yeah, I know about like Hyper Training and stuff, but that wasn't back in 2016. That's when I was like doing all that stuff. Like, yeah, if you wanted to get the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire shiny Kyogre, or even just a perfect IV Kyogre in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, there was cutscenes, they were still doing the battle, and then you still have to do the calculations for finding its stats and stuff. Way too long. Way too long. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.